Hey everybody, hope you had a great weekend. Great to be back with you on this fine Tuesday as we get ready and closer to Notre Dame's second game of the season this weekend, Saturday night, under the lights in South Bend. Notre Dame, Texas A&M, and you saw this over the weekend, latest AP poll coming out. I don't think it's all that crazy there as some teams try to jockey for early position in the poll. I mean, how great has the early season storyline for South Florida been, knocking off Billy Napier's Florida Gators team, who had high expectations coming into the season, with quarterback DJ Lagway leading the way, and all of a sudden they're 1-1. Here comes South Florida jumping up into the poll after two impressive wins over Boise and Florida to start the season. So might be a team there that you didn't know all that much about as compared to some of the teams that you do know a lot about. The Clemsons, the Georgias, the Penn States, the Notre Dames of the world. So the Irish, despite not playing a game last weekend, move up one spot in the poll in the AP Top 25 from 9 to 8. And again, they'll open the home slate this Saturday against Texas A&M, who came in at number 16 in the poll. And it's always nice to move up during a bye week. And when you look at the big picture, it does make sense here. Is this a huge deal? No. Is it nice, though? Yes. Notre Dame battled back in the season opener to score 17 points in the fourth quarter of that game. And while it wasn't enough, just barely, albeit, the pieces are there, I think we would all agree, for this team to make a legitimate run once again. Aggression on defense, opening up the passing game, O-line consistency, and giving the Love Price backfield strong amounts of touches are going to amount to just being essential components to doing just that, making that run and competing for a legitimate chance at a national championship. Being eighth in the poll heading into your home opener is nice. Now you got to go win the games in front of you. And as a piggyback to this, early in this week, and it was released yesterday, the Notre Dame depth chart for the A&M came out. No changes of any significance as a follow-up from the Miami game. So, Notre Dame's rolling with their guys, and that is something that's going to be significant here for a team that goes in 0-1, eighth in the top 10, coming in against a very good ranked opponent in Texas A&M that has some things to clean up on its own right. The big story for A&M coming out of this weekend is not just that they'll come to South Bend as 2-0, ranked 16th in the country, in Mike Elko's, Notre Dame's former defensive coordinator, second season at the helm of the program. The bigger story was the health status of talented sophomore quarterback Marcel Reed. It was a hot topic of conversation because the dual threat signal caller suffered an injury after taking a big blow to his midsection in A&M's win this past weekend over Utah State. He was removed from the game in the third quarter and did not return. And look, while that injury was significant, as they always are, especially with premier players at those premier positions like QB, Reed's status for this weekend, despite what may have looked like pretty doubtful as the weekend ended, does appear a little clearer now. Along with left tackle Trey Zune, Mike Elko said shortly after that he thought Reed would be fine and backed that up moving forward, and that there's really no major concern here. So that's great news for Texas A&M, and it's actually good news for Notre Dame from a planning and strategy perspective. Now you know Reed's going to be ready to roll. You can continue par for the course here, continue to prepare as you would for a kid that you know from last year. He can run, he can throw it, and you got to be on the balls of your feet here with a kid of this magnitude. Now, you know what you're going to face in this young man. And this is a Notre Dame defense in a season-opening loss that seemed passive and was inconsistent at times. Getting pressure on Reed while having your second and third level defenders ready for what comes their way through the air, and the fact that this kid is great from a mobility standpoint, can throw on the run, this is going to be essential for Notre Dame picking up its first win of the season in the home opener. So You're an A&M fan, yeah, you're going to have your guy under center and left tackle to boot, so that's big. But for Notre Dame, okay, now it's Tuesday. We've got time here. We can continue to plan as we thought we would for Marcel Reed, because we know he can use his legs and we know he can put the ball downfield. And A&M, Casey Concepcion, if you haven't seen the kid play who came into the program, there's legitimate speed on the outside for Texas A&M. And when healthy, they have a very good run game as well. So for many, in what many feel is a must-win, and you can form your own opinions on that, for Notre Dame, a healthy Irish squad going up a healthy A&M group Should make for some fun football this weekend. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, we're diehards. We've been Notre Dame fans our whole life, and you look forward to these games. But it's the big ones. The Miami game, you could feel the excitement going into that one. And obviously, it was worth the price of admission. Now you've got a great home opener 2 weeks in a row where you're playing games 1 and 2 under the lights, national spotlight. They'll be ready to roll in South Bend. That crowd's going to be going nuts. And like I said in the past segment, as per Notre Dame's latest depth chart, I don't expect to see any major changes coming in here. So what does that all mean? Freeman, Ash, and Denbrock trust their guys. Now we just need to see the consistency that flashed for most of last season, preparing the right way and getting ready to roll against the kid of Marcel Reed, it just continues to get better. This is going to be a fun one. It's not going to be an easy one, but Notre Dame now knows where it could focus, specifically defensively, for what they might see Saturday night against Texas A&M. And if you're into this thing, I know the fantasy sports are all the rage they have been for years and years, and I do it. But if you're into the betting landscape, you probably saw that Notre Dame opened as a 6.5-point favorite this weekend against the Aggies. And again, while it's certainly not going to be an easy game, given the talent at the QB spot, as I just discussed, A&M's speed on the outside and overall physicality on defense, Notre Dame is in a prime position to pick up what would be a tremendous early season win. Vegas feels the same, hence why the Irish are the betting favorites early in the week. Will this number change? Perhaps. But I think when you look here and you look at it on Tuesday, you're probably looking at that 6.5-point figure that'll probably exist as the line when the two teams take the field Saturday night in South Bend, one way or another. As I've said, and I said this at the back end of last week as well, I expect a tight game, chock full of athleticism and big-time plays from big-time playmakers. From an ND perspective, you hope that's Jay Love. Get that young man the ball. Heisman contender for a reason. Supplement him with Price. And then on the outside, you got to open it up. Jaden Greathouse, quite honestly, 2 targets, can't happen. You got to, at worst, triple those numbers. You want to see Fields getting involved. Raritan had a nice opener, minus a couple of drops. Clean those things up, the protection up front. It's a damn good Notre Dame team. And they're going to be tested again Saturday night, but there's a reason that they're the favorite here. Doesn't ever determine outcome here, but it's a nice little tidbit, especially for those of you who might be into the FanDuel or the DraftKings aspect of the betting world. So going to be fun. We got the rest of the week to break things down. A couple shows remaining. Any news that comes out, I'll have you covered here. As I always do, I take great pride in that. And I just want to wrap up today outside of the football landscape. Golf nuts like me, if you're one of those, you probably watched a good amount of the Walker Cup over the weekend between the U.S. And the team from Great Britain and Ireland. And while Team USA did pick up its 5th straight victory in the team event, with each side, if you're unfamiliar, this is a team event that representation from Team USA and then a combination of Great Britain and Ireland. Each team made up of the best amateurs from their respective countries in the sport. A familiar face in South Bend was a big reason why Team USA got the job done. And that, of course, is none other than Notre Dame star Jacob Modeleski, who picked up an impressive singles win on Sunday, which padded the stats for the red, white, and blue. It was just an impressive showing overall. Jacob played good golf out there. Obviously, Team USA did as well. They've won the last 5 events here, and these events happen in alternate years, so every other year, the Walker Cup. Very similar to the Ryder Cup on the pro circuit, which starts in a couple of weeks out here, not far from me, Bethpage Black out on Long Island. So it was another strong performance from Modeleski, who competed in the NCAA championships for ND just a couple of months ago, and his resume continues to grow and blossom with major events. But beyond just getting in the events, strong play in those events. The young man continues to play incredible golf, one of the best amateurs, not just in the United States. Now we know it's global. Congrats to Jacob and Team USA. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place, right here on Notre Dame Daily, brought to you by FanArch. I'm Pete Mulroy. Have a good one, and as always, go Irish.